Right, it's Bear Gardener. I said I'd do this a while ago, so now I'm going to, because I've been opening up more recently in the interests of trying to help people with their frustrations in playing this game, and in particular with the Climbed Field Marshal. So, last night, this being Sunday the 2nd of June, last night, the 1st of June, my stream was unusually, because it was the first day of the season, actually me playing some of my first, not quite my actual first, but some of my first games of the season in an attempt to climb Field Marshal. I've talked in the past about the fact that this can be a mixed bag in the way that you choose to do it, because climbing early in the season is harder, because generally speaking, a lot of very good players are trying to get themselves to Field Marshal at speed, just to get it out of the way at the beginning of the season. And I wanted to talk a bit about, one, why I choose to do that, and two, why you might not want to. Now, I've done a previous video, I'll put a link in the thing, about making choices about this, but I'm literally going to do something I don't often do, which is I'm going to record this like J. King records some of his stuff, which is there's no audience, I'm not broadcasting live to do this. This is just my thought process and playing. But it's also a chance to illustrate what I do if I want to be in the right frame of mind to play and concentrate. I am in a room. My door is closed in my office. I have an open window, so I can hear nature and get some fresh air, 'cause it's a nice day outside. I've been for a walk this morning. I have had a good breakfast, had a good lunch, relaxed, enjoyed my day, played a few relatively relaxed games to get my head in space just before lunch. Now I'm sitting down, I have water, the screen in front of me. Literally the only difference between this and how I would normally go about this is the camera, the microphone. Everything else is exactly how I'd normally go about this. So, we're on Japan Aggro right now. I'm not going to show the deck, because if anyone wants it, I'm sure they can find it. This is one of the few times, by the way, when I wish that the deck copying feature would just disappear quicker. Because the meta is complex enough at the minute that when I'm teching decks for it to try and get traction, I really am not a fan of the fact, as are a number of other players, that my opponents can start snaffling the deck and trying to try different things, especially if I think I have an idea, which I do, and happen to have had a conversation with other people about, which I think is a good idea and a change to make. Anyway, you will possibly notice the differences as we're playing, you will possibly not. However, we are currently rank 4 with 2 stars, and we are going to go into our first game, and I'm just going to talk through what goes on. So, relaxed frame of mind, not putting pressure on myself. I'm either going to be recording this for a while, or I'm going to get like 2 or 3 straight losses, and then I'm just going to say that's it and done, and still post it to YouTube to show you what that looks like. What I'm not going to do is get onto a bunch of straight losses and keep playing and attempt to get out of them. But hopefully that's not going to happen. We're going to get some wins. So, okay, we have Britain, which we're seeing a lot of at the minute. Opening hand-wise, Sendai's useful to remove guard. Raiding Brigade's good answer. I have no draw. But at the same time, they're not likely to kill my board early. It's about whether we pitch the Sendai or not. I'm happy keeping everything else. It's whether I pitch the Sendai to try and get some draw or keep it. No, we'll pitch it, see what we get. Naval Supply Run is actually not ideal. So, open up with Yokosuka. If nothing else, we'll find out what ally we're running, because Sickle may happen. It doesn't. That's good. Another Yokosuka. Not complaining. Right then, so we're open, and we've got 6 damage presented on board, so our opponent really wants to get to turn 3 very quickly. We, on the other hand, want to take advantage before turn 3 happens. Now, I have 2 choices here, but turn 3 is about to come round. So I'm actually going to use Naval Supply Run, because this is going to make it very, very awkward for our opponent to sup shortages out. We still have lethal after supply shortage. This puts our opponent in an incredibly difficult position. They're going to have to start trading. Honor and Loyalty's fine, so it's a discard deck. We don't really care for a number of exceptionally good reasons. The first one is this, which is we're going to do this. We'll draw, just in case we get anything better, which we don't. It's fine. I'll drop through, put 8 damage on the front. Our opponent will need to try it again. We know what we're playing against. We know that they're going to attempt to be hand-helling us out. Call to the Colonies doesn't really bother us. It's not really answering the problem, so we're just going to keep swinging, and now we have potentially an 8 damage Dragon Slayer on the board, and they are not getting to the magic turn 9 quickly enough. Glamour Boys is pain in the backside, but we can deal with it. Sheeden's good to see. How do I want to do this? So we're going to do this in a bit of a weird way. And drop this. Pink the Glamour Boys with Out of the Mist, which lets us then move to the front line, which is good. Put some HQ defense heal back in our hand and reduce our opponent down. I have Sheeden. I only need 8 credits to win the game, even if they board clear me. And they're not board clearing me. It's over. We done. We out of here. And this is literally the way that I want to approach playing against Brit right now. I don't want to hang around. I just want to win. I don't want to get them. While they still have access to their board clears, we don't want them to get to the late game. Or really even most of the mid game. Now we hang out, see who's next. I'm an old man. There will be much grindy noises. Okay. So, someone who's made Field Marshal, it's US. Okay, so it's either ramp or frontline in all likelihood. Bombing raid's okay, but we don't really need it. Excuse me, yet. Naval Brigade, Explorers. Nice, but I really want to keep raiding Brigade. The reason I want to keep raiding Brigade is in case we sit. What is this nonsense? Okay. Sure. Ever? I am not even remotely like. I suppose you could use this to proc Panzergren and then be relying on the spread damages. This person is cooking. I don't know what they're cooking, but it's interesting. Okay, so we're just okay. I do not understand, but that's okay. You do not have to. If you want to trade out all of your stuff randomly, you will just take the early trades. I don't. You have a raiding brigade, which will remove one of them. This is the I move forward. Yes, gets +1/+1. So no. I'm fine with this. I'm fine keeping bouncing on this as we go. We're going to press forward, which is totally expected. 94 early doesn't help us, but Panzergran will help us a little next turn, so let's ask our opponent some questions. We'll go here. I'm interested to see what we're cooking. This could go very badly for us because our opponent's got some frontline presence, but ultimately they're going to need more than they've got to actually be able to convert this. Sherman for draw makes sense, but that actually works out really well for us. Do we Out of the Mist this? I don't think we do. No, we really don't. We can do this. We can do this. Allows us to do this. Considering how much I want to just recycle my own Type 94 for the extra damage. It's only an extra point, it's not worth it, it's fine. Obviously. That's fine. Push up. No Panzergran. Push up. It's fine. I'm not overly worried. We can out of the mist if we really need to, but ultimately they can't. This is one of those things where I don't want to get overly flustered by the Cali. Red Devils is a pain in the backside right now. Not when played like that, though. Sure. If we play the AA gun, play the Panzer, buff the Panzer. We've got the trade out. Yeah, it's not great, but we'll do it. We need to try and hold it. Yep, that makes sense. Draw's good, though. Our opponent getting draws less good. Okay, so now we probably want to just, yeah. We can snaffle this. The reason we can snaffle this is we have naval supply run in hand. We can do this, this, and this. It's not quite as good, but it's still a decent body, and you're still going to have to try it out. Still eats your Sherman using your own unit. So we'll see. Rather early than late. Oh, that's frustrating. Not going to lie. Cheating, we really want to be able to get full value out of. We can do 7. If they can get a buff, we lose. Nothing we can do. We have no draw. Didn't land. Yeah. This is probably over. Panzergran. Sure. Don't run Burst of Fire. Dragon Slayer doesn't help us. So we have no outs. It's over. Well played. Not going to hang around to see the end of it. No need to. Mathematics is a thing. Frustrating, but fine. Will not be sad to see Red Devils and second Cali go away. So, see who's up next. Right, again. We really need to see some infantry, so that's okay. Alright, I always like seeing Type 94. We need to accelerate. No question, no conversations. We just need to go fast. We'd like to see infantry. We could risk drawing for infantry, but I'd rather have the guaranteed draw at the end of the turn. There's the 15th, which is good. The next turn we can actually start getting some bodies on the board. We roll into turn 3. Now, of course, statistically, there's an extremely high likelihood that they have supply shortage. So we are not going to overplay our hand. We'll draw. We'll drop the tank because it's free damage and it's another 2 points of damage even if they do it. We're not dropping the 15th because if we drop the 15th, they're probably just going to sub shortage us and we're done. That's unusual. We'll drop us a Sora. I'm not rushing. I'm fine in the back line unless you can find some pressure. Canadian's fine. So we'll send out the Canadian. A little more front line. And start chewing through. Not worried. Not worried at all. Naval supply run should hopefully be enough to win us the game next turn. Double naval supply run is good, but hopefully not needed. So Kitty Hawk's gonna hit the draw. No? Okay. That was annoyingly smart. So tanks up. We've still got enough. Naval supply run. Here. Yeah. And game. Rolling on. Yep. I'll also say something that I didn't say at the beginning. I do actually time limit myself on these sessions. I'm not going to play this session for an extraordinarily long period of time. We're just under 20 minutes at the minute. I probably won't go over 45. An hour is my hard limit. Generally, I don't go over 45. This is just a full return. Signals is good. Red Devils is Red Devils. We don't want to mess around, so we're going to take the front line with a unit that makes it a little harder for them to just punt the Red Devils in. Obviously, they might have 164th, which of course they do, but they don't actually have the credits to do it, which is good. We've only got 3 credits to operate with. That is very relevant at this point. The Riding Brigade. Someone puts the pressure on them to trade, which we will, yeah. Riding and gives us a spare body. It's fine. I'm just trying to keep the pressure up early because we don't have any Blitz Japan units, which is a problem. Devil's Brigade's are really bad. Except not. Okay. I am not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. Right then. There we go. That's what we want to see. Yes. Because now there's an awful lot of value in Signal Regiment. Yeah, Panzergrand's fine. Not ideal, but it gives us another body to deal with whatever they throw into the front line. We're looking to get to air. Hellcat can't move forward. Blitz is what we want to see, and we do. And we can put the buff on here. Not worried about the Hellcat. Can sack it out if they want. We're just going to keep the pressure up. They'll hard counter, which is fine. They don't have the credits to take advantage. Love to see a blitz unit. Doesn't really matter if we don't. And drop a couple of recons and this. Because at this point I can sack the recons and that in and win. Unless they can do something they have to remove. They'd have to do 20 damage. So this becomes incredibly important here. So we can do this, which gives us a draw. And this, which gives us another draw. We'll put 2 more units on the board. Do this, which gives us another draw. And do this. They have 10. If they have a buff, they win. Close as it gets. They have a blitz, tank, or a buff, they've won. There we go, nothing we can do. They're either going to draw a blitz unit and win or we win. Games will go fast and be close like this on a regular basis when you're climbing. You need to get your head in a space whereby this sort of 50-50 win rate you can live with if you're going to try and climb early and you're not really on point. It's just going to happen. That's just part of the deal. Soviet tokens is probably the most popular right now. But we'll see. Awful starting hand. Truly, truly terrible. It's tokens. Okay. It's not good. Need to top deck a blitz unit. We do not top deck a blitz unit. It's extremely bad and might be game loser. Depends on what our opponent's hand has. If they've got things like line of engagement, there we go, we are probably doomed. We can slow them down using Out of the Mist. Oh, we can turn... No. Okay, that's fine. No. Yes, please. Oh, yes, please. Thank you very, very much. Much better. Right then. Not perfect, but gave us a little bit of control back. Let's see. Next turn's hugely going to depend on what we can draw. We know we need to see Japan Blitz unit, otherwise we are in serious trouble. It's not a good hand to have. There are tricks we can try. We can early naval supply run onto a 1-drop if we get it, plus the tank, just to create bodies that can pop tokens. Which I am seriously considering. Oh, that's helpful. I don't like playing one of these naked, but in this instance, I'm not going to object, because if our opponent is that far behind, I'm not going to say no. Because our hand is awful. Truly, truly terrible. Patty... high roll? No. So, now it starts to get interesting. got recon. I'm not going to play recon. I'm going to create heavier bodies. Because now our opponent has to get the high roll. Is one of the things that people need to get. Now, first of all, our opponent picked the wrong target. Really, really badly. So now they're going to have to sack. They are worrying about the tank, which is not the target you need to worry about here, because that tank can't proc draw. It's not Japan. This can proc draw. That matters a lot. Because this can happen, and suddenly your day can look really, really bad. Had they concentrated and removed the 15th, I would not have been able to do that, and they would probably have been able to regain pressure. As it is, they're now just going to have to throw units at me and hope for a catty high roll. I mean, this one has blitz, but the other does not. Because unless it was already in hand. Okay, motors. Fine. Not overly worried so far. We can on-curve Panzer Grenadier, which is never terrible. Not rushing. Don't need to. I have a number of things that can win me this game. Throwing out the Panzer wouldn't have helped because they're just going to pop it because I can't get a strong enough buff on it and I can't clear the guard and play it at the same time. This way they give me hand. Okay. So that's fine. They've placed, I mean, they might buff, which would be annoying. I mean, unless they can buff past 3 defense. Okay, that's fine. We can deal with that. We're going to need an aircraft, but we can deal with that. What have we got? Oh, that's not good. We're not in immediate danger. This is very, very important. We are not currently in immediate danger, so we are not going to rush. Now we know they have close combat, but much more importantly, we have a lot of card draw and token popping. Not rushing. Don't need to. Not right now. They have 6 HQ defense, and we have 20. And yes, they're about to hit us really hard. But they're setting up for close combat. But since we know they have it, they're not going to get it. We're just going to draw a boatload of cards. Rifle regiment doesn't matter. It's changing absolutely nothing about our tactics. And a Baron of Ichi that's a 6-7 is a pain in the backside, but it's actually way too late for it to be a huge issue. They covered the Baron of Ichi, which is actually a smart play. I have talked about previously. We are overdrawing. However, they now... I'm overdrawing, and there's nothing... It's entirely deliberate. I was either going to get a hand that was going to win me the game, or I wasn't. We either come back and win, or it's over. This is very ride or die, which is not my usual style of play. We have Sendai, so we have ways of removing most of what's in front of us. No surrender is extremely annoying. But we will persevere. We need to create a space, which we will do. Overdraw Shiden, which is bad, but they're creating operating space for us, which is probably less wise. So, let us commence. Obviously, we're putting the panzer down. Obviously, we're sand-eyeing away this. Those were not debates. This is not a debate. Dragon Slayer's really not great, but that's okay. We can take this up to a 2, which removes another one of their units. They can do 15. Technically, they have lethal if they're smart enough to realise it, and they're still holding close combat. They don't. Okay. Sure. Yeah, add lethal. Fighting Brigade's got Blitz, so that's 2 damage. So it signals. It's Riding Brigade here. Got the 93. Just a little shy of where we want to be. Which is a shame. Up to a 4, but we still want to remove this. And drop an AA gun. Nothing we can do. Win some, lose some. Such is life. Our opponent just swings and wins, unless they decide to grandstand. We can hope. I don't think they will. Oh, please grandstand? Sure. Okay. Okay. Endlessly, we'll never understand that. Pointless waste of your time to do it if you are playing. But such is life. Right. Time for at least another couple of games in all likelihood, unless we get on a hard losing streak. We've done okay. It's not been great. Not gonna lie, not gonna say it has been. This is pretty indifferent. Not a massive fan. Even for those of us who arguably know a chunk about what we're doing, the Wild West of the situation is such that there's only so much you can do. This is a full pitch because there's nothing here. I mean, once again, we are in deep with very little help. Our opponent is probably on tokens, at which point this is a very bad position to be in, and we almost... Okay, so now we've got an interesting one. That is not what I was expecting to see. I could, but it would be pointless. Okay. It's card draw if it dies. Plus, you're going to have to sack the Ice Shack. I assume we're going to see Claim the Skies. Yep, absolutely. Oh, good. High roll jank. Absolutely everything that I want to see. Can't drop the Sendai in a single go. Right. Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tedium. We got a bad starting hand. This is almost certainly a lose. I don't often make clear distinctions about that, but in this specific case, this is almost certainly a loss. Not really a lot we can do about it. Panzerground doesn't get us anywhere. Recon can't blitz. We have to remove the jet, and I don't think we can. It's really not good. It's fine. It's absolutely nothing we can do. Oh. We'll pink this because it reduces their damage by 1, so we have 2 turns. But if we can't kill the jet, it's over. Catty's really bad. Jet's gonna run face. Are we 15th out? We have to draw. Draw again. Nope, even drawing a turn earlier wouldn't have helped. Over. There to be absolutely nothing we can do. And sometimes this is just how sessions go. It's just the way it goes. There's a lot of this going around at the minute. Games being decided just by hand at the start of the game. It will happen. Also, interesting point, win or lose. This is my last game for this session. Looked at the time, looked at where my psychology is. I'm not gonna push myself. Actually, Out of the Mist is probably worth holding on to. I'd rather send the Type 93 back. Excellent. Even better, our opponent's on a slow roll. Do this, and we'll take that 93. Not a tremendous pull, but it gives them one less thing to clear, which makes it less likely that they clear both of our units, which puts us in a position to drop it, draw, do some damage, and then set up a really good Aichi turn. Like so. We don't even need to draw this turn. Much stronger start. It is pretty difficult for anyone to do anything against. They really, I mean, one of the reasons that I'm comfortable here is on the Ascent isn't going to help them. Yep, that's fine. So we've got slightly limited effect, but that's okay. We'll run Audacity. Run face. Draw last, which is terrible practice, but I didn't want to distract myself. Particularly terrible practice in that it could have made all the difference, but it should be game. They're going to have to clear the board to win. Home defense is nice, yep, but not enough. So, that is 40 minutes And we have climbed. We've climbed a rank. I'm happy with that. I'm not going to press myself to do too much more. That's what it looks like when I'm playing this game. If you like this sort of thing, if you like just watching and hearing my thought process, let me know. I can record more of this, but I'm very aware that there are people out there who do this a lot better than I am. You can go watch J King, and you probably should, because I've learned a lot from watching his thought processes playing. But if you find this cool, let me know. As ever, take care of yourselves, be good human beings, and I will catch you next time.